BC Hay is here with the Kia that I overpaid on. So we'll have to have a look at what the score is with that. Get a chance to have a little look underneath. Hope it doesn't drop on my head. Tell you what, this trailer's that long, it's like a blooming test drive for it, isn't it? Look at that. It's got miles to go. So the Ceed is now off the trailer. I'm trying to get hammered. What is it? How is it pronounced, guys? I'm going to say Ceed. I don't really care how it is other than that. So yeah, it's now off the trailer. It's a nice looking car. I'll give it that. It's a nice looking car. So yeah, 2012 diesel Ceed. I'm not sure what the spec is, but I think it's a top end one because it's got all the toys on it. I mean, we've got these nice front fog lights, we've got the nice alloys. So a quick look over the bodywork. Down the side here, it's pretty straight. Minor ding there. Alloys in good nick. Got a bit of a scrape there on the bumper. That could probably be touched in, that. Rear parking sensors. Very little mark in there. Again, decent alloy. What tyres have we got on here? I know you guys like to know what tyres they are. Cheap make by the looks of it. Yeah, it's pretty straight all the way down the sides, guys. If you remember, this was a Cat N. I haven't looked up pictures of what the Cat N damage was previously, but looking around the car, I'm not seeing any horrible colour matches at the moment or bad panel gaps. There's some scraping here on the corner of the bumper. Again, I think that can be touched up. I don't think I need to start getting the spray cans out. Roof is good. Yeah, I'm not seeing any mismatches colour wise or any panel gaps. Yeah, looks good. I'm quite pleased with the condition of the car. Let's have a little look inside. Yeah, so it's a really nice looking car in this colour and this spec. So inside, all round electric windows, electric mirrors. Presumably that's electric folding. We'll test that in a minute. We've got cruise control. We've got, don't know what these are for. Speaker, I presumably. Aircon, heated seats. Flipping it is well specced out. Sat nav. Presumably we've got auxiliary input and USB input. I would imagine. Ah, yeah, Bluetooth. We've got Bluetooth as well. This is fully loaded up, guys. This is fully loaded up. Again, 2012, and you know, a fairly cheap maker car, being Kia. It's fully loaded. I hadn't noticed either. We've got half leather in here. There's some dirt in the back there, but we've got half leather seats. Let's hop out again and just check the condition of the seats. Oh no, full leather seats, full leather front seats, full leather rear seats. I don't know why I said it was half leather. So we've got leather and all the toys. 6-speed gearbox. This is a really nice spec, this is, guys. Really nice spec. This will make someone a wicked little driver. Huge boot. We'll open that up in a bit. But all the leather's in good nick. Just needs a good clean. Yes, there's some good spec on this. We've got some books. And for a cat car, unbelievably, we've got a service book, which normally cat cars have service books are missing. Oh, we're seeing lots of stamps already. What we got? 2013, 2014, 2015, 16, 7 months later in 2016, I don't know why it had a service again then. 2017, 2019, they're all Kia ones. 2019 is the last service. Interestingly, someone decided to start taking it back to Kia after going independent. So missing service from the last couple of years, but up till then it's got a pretty much full service history, so it's been well looked after. How many owners? I'll not give away the name. 2 keepers, 2 registered previous keepers, and bearing in mind this was a cat car, that means that it would have had to have the V5 reapplied for, so it might only be, it might not have a 2 previous keepers, it might be 2 keepers in total. We've got the handbook there. Hey, I tell you what guys, things are looking alright on this front, aren't they? Start her up with the Vauxhall key. Let's not try and start with the Vauxhall key, James, let's get the right key for her. Only 1 second while I get my act together. I think I've left them inside. 2 seconds. Hey, very unusual for a cat car as well. 2 keys, 2 remote keys. Unfortunately that key seems to be broken by the looks of it, the other one. So we've only really got one working key. I don't know if this one is locking and unlocking. Oh yeah, it's still locking and unlocking. It just seems to have a broken bit on it, unless I'm missing something. I'm sure you tell me if I am. Right, let's see if she starts. Well, I've seen her drive off the trailer, so I know she starts, but let's see how she starts. $100,000 miles. Starts up well enough. Aircon off. Fan down. Humming along okay. Touch screen. Sat nav. Yeah, we've got all the toys, guys. All the toys. Impressed. I'm impressed. All these buttons, look how clean they are. There's no wear on any of these buttons. This all looks absolutely mint. Gear lever's good, a little bit of wear there. But for 100,000 miles, maybe it's been sitting on motorways doing 100,000 miles, because it doesn't seem to have had a lot of sort of use of all the bits and bobs. Everything's in really good nick. So that engine sounds happy enough, but let's shut it off and just check the engine bay, make sure we're okay for fluids and stuff. So under here it's not as clean as the rest of the car, but that's honest enough. Someone's not been faffing around with it. So it's the Ceed I 16 valve 2 litre diesel, is it, I think, on this. So have a check of the oil. A wipe on the old trousers, jumper, sorry, Mrs. Chops. There we go. About halfway on the dipstick, and the oils, I mean, the trouble with diesels is the oil's always black, isn't it? But we know from the service history that it has been serviced. It's possible it's been skipped the last year, so definitely do with an oil change on it. Coolant level, difficult to see. I'll let it cool a bit and then have a little look in there and double check that. It's really dirty, so I can't really see. I can see some fluid in there, I just can't see how much at the moment. Have a look at the chassis legs. Well, there wouldn't have been any damage to chassis legs anyway, being a Cat N. It wouldn't have had any chassis damage to it. But we'd see if there's any fixed headlight tabs glued back together or anything like that. But all of this lines up lovely. All of this is factory, I can tell you that straight away. It's got the same bolts where it should have. So I don't think there's anything along here. I mean, for a Kia, it probably could have been something incredibly light, because the values aren't that high, are they? But yeah, it all looks okay under here. It all just needs a really good clean, doesn't it? But I'll just double check the coolant level a second and then we'll take it for a little spin. But so far I'm liking it. I'm assuming this is a chain driven diesel, is it, guys? And this, yeah, it's going to be a chain driven diesel, isn't it? I'm sure you guys will inform me. I'll double check after saying that. But it's all in a metal casing, so I'm assuming it's chain driven. One less thing to worry about. Coolant's the right level. You can see it's about there, so that's all good. So make sure it's on the insurance, get the trade plates on, let's go for a spin. Look in the boot, did we? Good old size boot, it's a big boy. And with a bit of a clean up, that'll be fine. There's no holes or tears in it, just needs a good hoover out and clean. So let's take it for a spin, see what's wrong with it, because we know there's going to be something wrong with it. And as the driver himself said, anything decent goes to cinch these days. Although he's wrong, because obviously 2012 isn't going to go to cinch. Why does it keep throwing a flipping Air on full. Right, straight out the gate, the biting point is very low on the clutch. It's engaging fine, it's not slipping, it's just very low. So it needs a bit of research into that, because it won't necessarily be the clutch itself. In my previous experience, there's a lot of models of cars that get low clutch biting points that aren't necessarily the clutch itself. But we'll double check to see if we've got any slippage at all. Yeah, it's to me it feels like it could be something within the hydraulics that isn't fully depressing the clutch as it should do. So yeah, we'll have to get that checked out. Now I can hear something boinging, and the brakes are a bit graunchy, but I think that's because it's been sitting. There's something going on I can't quite put my finger on, possibly with the suspension on the front left hand corner, but it's steering straight, so it's going to be spring or top mount related, I would have thought. Well, we haven't got a lot of fuel, guys. We've got next to no fuel, so we're not going to take it too far. Other than that, it's nice and quiet, smooth. Its power delivery smooth. There's no other noises I'm hearing other than, like, say, that whatever's going on with the suspension underneath it. And the brakes, but I noted the brakes were, I didn't check the MOT, and the brakes were noted on the last MOT as being about due, as were a couple of tyres. It's got an MOT until August. Yeah, I don't think we're yeah, I think it's something with the hydraulics there. We'll do a bit of research on that. Now I'm used to the bite point, actually it's not a problem once you're up and running. It's just a bit from absolute standstill when first, it was just a bit of a shock for it to bite that low, but actually once you're up and running it's okay. Yeah, she seems to ride smoothly enough. Like I say, there's got to be something going on. It's not making the car feel bad. The pickup's nice. Yeah, it's got a good pickup. Now this isn't going to be one to make money on. I overpaid for this. To be honest, that biting point's bothering me less and less as I'm driving the car more. It's like I say, it's only really for an absolute standstill. In first, it catches you slightly unawares, biting a bit quickly. Might be that we don't need to do anything about it, to be honest. The diesel itself is pulling nicely. It sounds absolutely fine. So it's going to have an MOT anyway, so I think I'll get Phil's opinion on the clutch pedal as well when I get it down to boards. But we'll have to get in and see what else it needs for MOT. Paintwork wise, like I say, I think I'm just going to touch those bits in, get the right colour paint. I don't see the need to start spraying. And after a good clean up inside, I think it's going to be a super clean car, really nice looking as well. Yeah, so the issue with this car, I don't think it's what I paid for it. I think I paid £1,000 for it. It's the fact that with the fees, and then I didn't really think through where I bought it from. I bought it from a BCA that's quite a way away from me. I can't remember which one now, but the delivery cost me £200. So between delivery and fees, I put 50% on the cost of the car. If I'd got this at Bridgewater for £1,000, I'd have been a happy bunny. But you live and learn, don't you? So I think the step with this vehicle is check out just a little bit of research on that side of things. I mean, like I say, having driven it, actually it's absolutely fine. So in terms of it's, you know, totally usable, and the clutch isn't slipping at all. But do a bit of research on that and then get it down and get it checked out for MOT. If I don't think we can afford to put a clutch in it. If it's a clutch, then I might have to rethink what the game plan is with it. But it'd be nice to get it sorted because it is a really nice car. So I've done my research, guys, and there are pages and pages on Google of people complaining they've got a low biting point in their Ceed diesel, and it seems to be cars that are like, you know, 3 years old, and people have done lots of things to try and resolve it and don't seem to have been able to do so. Even the main dealers don't seem to have ever sorted it. I've seen a couple of people sort it by putting on a new master cylinder. Is that the right one I'm talking about? The one that goes from the pedal through to the engine bay. That is the master, isn't it? Yeah. So I've seen a few people resolve it, putting one of those on. It's about 60 quid for one from Kia themselves. So that may well be worth doing, putting that on and then bleeding it. But even the people that have done that have said they've only really gained about an inch. So yeah, it does seem to be a very common thing. So, and people have put new clutches in and still had the same problem. So they've thought that the clutch was the issue and it's not solved it at all. So that goes back to my earlier point, thinking that the biting point and the clutch would be high if it was going bad. So I do think it is more likely to be that master than it is the clutch itself. But I'll get Phil's opinion on that as well. Checking the tyres. No, they need tyres. They're not new on there at all. So it does need tyres. And what are the rear? Oh, the rear discs are horrible, guys. The rear discs are absolutely horrible, so it definitely needs rear discs. Won't need rear tyres. I think the more I drove it, the noise sounded like it was coming from the back. I think it's bad discs rather than possibly suspension. So definitely rear discs and pads. Possibly, I don't know about the fronts, difficult to tell, but definitely rear. So we've definitely got tyres to do, we've definitely got discs and pads, and we've potentially got that that slave cylinder. We're gonna have to see what the rest of the MOT throws up to see whether we do that master cylinder or not, because it is entirely drivable, and there's plenty of evidence online that lots of people are driving them exactly like this and having no problems. So yeah, I think we'll have to decide once we see what the total cost of the MOT is going to be, because we could be into this easily for, you know, £2,000 or £2,500 in a car that's probably only worth £3,000 on a really good day. Difficult one. Shame, it's such a nice car. Well, that's it for that one, guys. I'll update you obviously as and when with what happens with that. As you can see, we've had a couple more turn up as well, so there'll be some more videos coming out very soon. Thanks for watching as always. Please do hit that like button if you enjoyed it underneath, give it the thumbs up, and if you're not currently subscribed, why not, guys? Hit that subscribe button. Thanks a lot, see you soon.